am extremely tired. I just woke up a little while ago. I ain't even gonna lie to you. As many of y'all know, it was a late night. I went to try to get some additional footage. I'm going to tell you guys all about that in a whole separate live went on with that. And I actually got some footage of that, which was quite funny. Shout out to Marjorie Taylor Greene. Bet you won't come back to New York with that BS, will you? Anyway, moving on. You know, something that came apparent to me, and I actually saw it earlier this morning because it happened rather late on Tuesday night, which was, and like I said, guys, forgive me, I've got a little pickle in my throat, the air changing and everything like that. So if it's hard to understand me, I'm sorry. Bob Lee, who was coincidentally the owner of Cash App, many of y'all use Cash App on here, and also the owner, believe it or not, was partial owner or investor of Clubhouse, which I never knew. But he's also partial investor in Clubhouse, also a couple other endeavors with Elon Musk. Well, they found him. So, and I'm gonna go a place with here that many of y'all are not used to, but just bear with me. It's gonna be a nice ride. So, evidently, they found this man without any type of real indication or any type of detail within the story so far that I've been able to pick up that this guy was found dead from apparent stab wounds. Okay. Now, they don't say where it happened at. I'm assuming that it happened outside because of the details and how people found him. Him and his father were living together since the mother had died earlier a couple of years ago, maybe 2 years ago. So him and the father were living together and coincided with each other in Florida. Okay, they found him dead, Bob Lee. They found him dead at 2:35 a.m., which is very late in the morning, especially for the San Francisco area or just California. Everything out in California closes down around about 1:30 or 2ish. You understand? So after that, you're going to after parties, things like that. So they found this man, and he was just stabbed to death. He was 43 years old, part owner of Clubhouse, investor with Elon Musk. Stay with me, investor with Elon Musk, and owner of Cash App, one that we all use. Can we be fair about that? Hey, what's going on in that? Salute to you again, too. That donated last night. Made sure I got something good to eat. I appreciate you in that, honestly. And guys, if you haven't donated, make sure you hit up the Cash App, $ STRINGERBELL 80. That's Stringerbell 80. I also want you guys to go down below because it doesn't have enough views, I believe. Go down below and watch. I actually went to the Trump arraignment yesterday. So guys, make sure you check it out. And for you two that just logged off because I mentioned my Cash App and we doing a post about Cash App, please never come back. Thank you. Moving on. There's some things here that are inconsistent, or let's say at the very least haven't been answered to the public. Is that fair? And usually I don't do conspiracy theories. Usually I don't do, I just don't take that route because it's not for me, right? But some fucking times, you know what? he tripped on a banana peel. Hey, yo, and the guy's a Boo Capone. I done seen a lot of things in my life, but I ain't never seen an elephant fly. You know what I'm saying? Like, who the F are you talking to? You know what I mean? Like, it seems apparent to me. I don't want to give a conspiracy theory here. That's why I said I'm gonna wrap this real quick. It's gonna be under 10 minutes. Because I don't think this really requires a lot of talking. But there's something foul here. Okay. You are the owner of one of the, if not the largest, one of the second two largest cash transfer companies out there. I mean, the only people that rival them really is PayPal. That's why it's most of our second choices. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have a Cash App, here's a PayPal, right? And so for them to say this was an accident. Now, I want to say this. Yesterday when I was down at the Raymond, down at the courthouse for Trump yesterday, I kind of had to throw in some space in between my diatribes because there wasn't nothing going on. And one of the things I brought up was there's an ever rising homeless population that is mentally unstable and they attack people. Okay. I said in front of the cops, if you notice, none of them cops said nothing to me. I'm very methodic in what I do. So I was like, and I'm not talking about manipulation wise. That's something different. I'm very methodic as far as like I want certain reactions, not from you, the viewer, or not from people that look like me or brown people. I want reaction from the powers that be. You understand? That's always been my guys. That's how we were taught. So I said this in front of the cops, and I said, and I used this example of homeless people that are mentally unstable, that have been pushing people off the subway tracks, platforms out in Chicago. They're doing the same thing out there now, whatever the case may be. So a lot of people wanted to interpret this was a homeless person in San Francisco. Now, if you know the demographic, just in California alone, they are superseding the homeless population problem all across all across, beating everybody in the nation, including New York. Okay, they got tent cities out there. This is in San Francisco, okay? This is Nancy Pelosi's zone here, okay? So I'm not making anything up here. This is Nancy Pelosi's constituency. Yes, these multi-million dollars, in some cases almost billion-dollar homes and properties or whatever, are surrounded by homeless people who have left LA, a lot of them, or left other places of Vegas, Arizona, neighboring cities, and came to listening to this section of San Francisco, LA, or whatever to have you. So it's the same thing. You get a whole bunch of strangers that are coming in to a locale that they were never known in, and now they round them up. So some people, what I've heard from independent reports, are attributing it to that, and a lot of people are going with the angle that they're kind of pushing it towards this was a homeless person or whatever. Guys, give me a second to share this, because there's a few people in here. They just want me to make their job easier for them. So they come and listen to what I have to say, and then they go back to their own pages and basically regurgitate what I said. I peep what you do. Great live yesterday, but that guy attacked an older lady. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that in a separate live too, because I got some other stuff I'm going to throw up. I've been sitting here for about an hour and a half. Guys, I got some people that come in here. They just want to hear what I got to say, and then they go back to their page and try to regurgitate what I said. But what I said is so authentic that when they try to regurgitate it, yes, I'm talking to you. When you try to regurgitate it, what happens is it comes out so blatantly as it's been regurgitated that it sounds like me. You understand what I'm saying? And what I'm about to start doing is I'm about to start clipping where I said it first and the date, and then I'm going to clip it when you said it. I'm going to get back to the premise, but I'm going to clip it when you say it to prove my point. And I'm going to start embarrassing a lot of y'all. I'm already embarrassing y'all already. This is a movement. Trust me. Listen, one thing you can't do with Bad Boy Entertainment, fam, you can't outwork us. You understand what I'm saying? You can't outwork us. Trust me. You can't outmaneuver me. You can't outwork me. If you're talking about going live for 9 hours, 10 hours, talking about nothing but gossip, that's not working. That's passing the time. You understand? Now back to this gentleman. Because all of y'all use Cash App, including a couple of y'all. I'm about to take my money out of Cash App. Nobody give a fuck about that $11 you got in Cash App. Don't nobody give a fuck about that $15 you got in Cash App. Take your money out there. Where you going to put it, Zelle? So, continuing on. They are now blaming a homeless individual or a psychotic individual for doing this, all right? Is that fair? I don't know. Is it easy blame? I would say yeah. If I had to make a guess, this ain't the random, first of all, it happened at 2:35 in the morning, all right? And anybody know in California, everything shut down about 1 o'clock, 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. I know that from living here in Connecticut. Everything here shut down during the week, 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. What's going on, Nick? So everything's shut down. You understand what I'm saying? So only thing you're doing is you're going to an after party, you're going to a friend's house, or you're going home. Now, why were you out at 2:35 in the morning, Bob Lee? I don't understand. I don't think Bob was looking for a prostitute. I don't think Bob was going to get a sandwich like Jussie Smollett. I don't think that Bob was going to get a candy bar. I don't think Bob was going to get a pack of Newports. I think we are going to find, and this is why I'm not going fully into this, I think we're going to find out that there's a lot more to this. And if I had to make a guess, let me just say it like this. If I was going, and I'm just saying theoretically, if I was going to get a motherfucker, you're preferably in 2023 more inclined to do it quietly. You understand? And so if I was going to get rid of somebody, I'm just saying, that had these many resources, I mean, do you know how motherfucking valuable Cash App is? And not to mention that he's also an investor in Clubhouse. Many of you use Clubhouse. He's also an investor in several other brands and marketing with Elon Musk. This is big money. Now, I'm not saying Elon Musk took him out, but I'm just saying, don't make a mistake. He's a billionaire. A lot of y'all get online and be talking from a man's perspective to make $40,000 a year in Cash Apps on YouTube. And you're ready to spar and go to war with billionaires. It was always the funniest thing. Do you know how many options? I don't give a fuck who's on your block. All right. This guy, be quiet there. I don't care who's on your block. If somebody has only $40,000 to $50,000 at their disposal, and they're going up against somebody that's a multi-billionaire or even a multi-millionaire, 9 times out of 10, straight out on right, you're going to lose. You understand? I want to wake y'all up from that. You're going to lose. You understand? Well, in this case, I think Bob Lee got his hands and put into something that was bigger than him. And if I had to make a guess, I would say somebody held similar interests. Let's put it that way. I don't want to ever have yeah. Oh, that sounded like OJ for a minute. If I would have done it. Look back, that sounded like OJ, right? If I would have done it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, it looks suspicious. Don't that seem suspicious? That's how that nigga do. Don't that seem suspicious? Isn't that weird? Y'all help out the Marcus Garvey School. Donate right now. You know, what's that shit? The Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Expedition Center, whatever the fuck that shit is called. Y'all still donate to that, huh? I won't donate to me, and I show up to Trump. I want to point that out real quick later on in my other live, because that was fucking hilarious. Anyway, Bob Lee, rest in peace. I don't have too many conspiracy theories to throw, but that's definitely not an accident, all right? and make your, I want to say, I'm not laughing at this man's death. I'm just saying, like, that's not an accident, all right? That's an accident is you slip and fall on a banana peel, a wet floor, you know what I'm saying? Oh my God, I forgot I mopped the floor earlier. That's an accident, you know what I mean? But you stabbing a motherfucker up a couple of times and they die. The police showing up on scene, they transfer you to the hospital, you die later on in the hospital. That was somebody that did that with passion. You understand? Somebody, they wanted to get you up out of here. And it's sad because I think they wanted to get him up out of here for his assets. It couldn't have been for the money. He wasn't a confrontational guy. This was reported by his brother and his sister. So he wasn't a confrontational guy, meaning that if somebody would have came up to him and tried to grab the money from him, he probably would have just gave it to them, you know? So, yeah, once again, you've heard me. Bob Lee found stabbed to death in San Francisco, California at age 43, the owner and operator and facilitator of Cashapp, which many of y'all use. Now, my question is many of y'all going to move your money out of Cashapp now? Do you have some projection that maybe Cashapp might change since he's gone? Who's going to pick up the bounce? I don't know. I don't know if he had a successor as far as his position. I don't know what will happen with his investments. Like I said, he's invested in Clubhouse. A lot of y'all use Clubhouse. So that's one of the other entities that he's heavily invested in, meaning he has a stake pure, I think it's somewhere maybe about 20-25%. So he has not a majority stake, but a high stake. And then the other companies that he has, there's like several other ones, and they're under this Cube Mobile, I think that's what it's called, emblem, which Cube Mobile seems to be some type of conglomerate of different apps or whatever. I have to really figure it out. But because it's the same thing like with ByteDance and their issue with TikTok. TikTok is in partnership with ByteDance, and the United States government right now wants them to separate. I don't know, but there's a lot of these companies that are collecting metadata, petadata, and they're using it to analyze your behaviors. And as they're learning your behaviors, they're learning your spending habits, they're learning your shopping habits, things like that or whatever. That's the same thing that, believe it or not, Cashapp does too. You know, Cashapp now sends you a monthly statement. Any of y'all have seen that yet? It depends on how long you've been using Cashapp, but they send you a monthly statement now. So that means that you're being monitored. You understand? And those monitoring purposes are probably for the FBI. They can be a lot of things. I mean, money laundering purposes. If they have a case with that, they can use that against that. The facilitation of prostitution. There's a lot of things that go in with the nurse of using Cashapp. So let's not sit there and act like it was squeaky clean and this clean-cut division white man just ran a company as well as he could. You know what I mean? It wasn't that. There's a whole bunch of shit that go on in Cashapp, all right? Cashapp has literally revolutionized the OnlyFans commerce. You know what I mean? Yep, she said, Miss Foster said, I see my monthly statement. See what I mean? If you go back 3 months in the game, they didn't have that. So you're definitely being monitored because they're being monitored. Now, my question is, will you leave Cashapp because this man has passed away? How many of you plan on leaving Cashapp because Bob Lee, the owner, has passed away? And I guarantee you'll find very few. I saw a few people online, oh my God, you better take your money out now. They was, throwing them pay. They weren't even talking about the man passing away. I had condolences to Bob Lee. And like, you better take your money. I'm talking black, white, Spanish, you name it. They were all talking, take your money out of cash. You know what I mean? I said, listen, don't nobody want that little $22 you got your account. That little $9 has been sitting there for 8 months. Waiting until one day you really need a soda. Let me cash you, Sam. Put this on my debit. You want a soda too? I got $9 in there. I get a cup of soda. You want a soda? How much of sodas? Make sure I don't go over budget. You're not going to take your money out of cash app. You have to be a fool. And somebody will come to the reins of it and they'll start taking over it, and as well as his other entities that he's either invested in or owns currently, that including Clubhouse. The question is, what do you guys think? Will you take your money out? Will you find some other alternative to use other than Cash App now? It's a question. Other thing I want to know this. What do you feel about the whole situation of him being stabbed? Do you think it was, they got him up out of here? Oh, this goddamn cold is acting up. I'm sorry, make me lean into the camera a little bit sometimes. Do you think it got him up out of here? Or do you think maybe Bob just is at the wrong place at the wrong time? But do you think goddamn cold. Do you think they got Bob fuck up out of here? R.P. Bob. Yeah. So, leave your comments down at the bottom. I just want to know what people individually think or whatever would happen with Bob. And I want to say R.I.P. The shit looks suspicious. It looks suspicious. Doesn't that seem suspicious? Hey, you want me to believe this man was walking around fucking San Francisco at 2:35 in the morning, and some homeless man ran up on him. He said, "You know what? I've been looking all for you. I had a Cash App 10 years ago." Like, come on. I'm going to the wrong place at the wrong time, but R.I.P. Bob. Exactly. We're not going to the wrong place. We're keeping it a Bob. If you sit back and you believe that Bob had a fucking accident, that's all I'm going to say, all right? Leave your comments down below. I just wanted to chat in on that. We're not making fun of this man's death, of course, but 2:35, San Francisco. Bob, what were you doing? Hold on. Was Bob going to meet the OnlyFans model? She said, "Well, I do meetups." That ain't funny, but I'm just saying, like, there's more to this story. You understand? And I know when these stories come out, there's always a hindrance of what the fucking actual media knows, and they're told or asked by the family or asked by the lawyers, "Hey, can you just put a pillow on it for about 6 or 7 hours so we can alert people?" Like his family, his sisters, let them console themselves. And then we're getting to the grits and nits of him being a personality. You understand what I'm saying? Which this man really wasn't. I'll be quite honest with you. Until today, I didn't know who the fucking owner of Cash App was. I had to really sit back and say, let me do this a little bit. And that's how I found out the extra stuff. Like he was invested in this company, that company, the other companies all that time in the morning. Maybe Bob was on some sneaky. At 2:35 in the morning in California, anybody live in California, please chime in. If you out at 2:35 in California, you either coming from the club, going to get something to eat, or you're going home, or you're going to look for prostitutes on Figaro or somewhere in LA. You going to the strip. I thought we was going home, bro. Let me ride up here. I know this girl. But I want to go home, bro. I'm drunk. Don't worry about it. I'm looking for somebody. Anybody seen Peaches out here? Oh, she be back. She went with Tyrone. I'll wait for her. What we doing? We waiting for Peaches. She do something special. Shut up, nigga. I might get you something. It's about life from NYC to California. Exactly. Yo, L Easy said it's that life from NYC to California. Oh yeah, we got them on Fordham. We got them in Brooklyn. They rocking that shit, talking tough, but not like the West Coast. See, unlike most other New York cats, me and some of my comrades, we've been to the West Coast many a time. My sister lived in the West Coast. And so what you'll see is, especially like Arizona, St. Louis, where else? I'm going to say St. Louis, another one of them. Cali, but it depends on where you at in Cali. Texas is definitely one of them where they walk out openly. You know what I'm saying? And to win all of them, is Vegas, where the shit is legal. So the West Coast has got a whole different prostitution vibe, if you want to say. I can't believe I'm saying that on my channel. Prostitution vibes. I can't believe I just said that in one. Prostitution vibes. But you got girls out there that do it a little bit more openly. You understand? Whereas on Fordham and all those areas, I ain't gonna call nobody out here while some of y'all bitches, hey, they called us out, girl. My hands cold out here too. Rub your hands together, bitch. You won't be. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is turning into something terrible. I am fucking terrible for this, but I'm not laughing at him. I'm just. You have to make light of things sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just have to. Rub your hands together, bitch. You won't be cold. But the hookers out on the West Coast is a lot different, bro. Like they openly out there and they openly solicited. I mean, you see them with skimpy clothes on or whatever. So I actually got one of the chances to go to Figueroa and then another spot that I'd seen. And it was some of the nastiest shit I ever seen in my life. I was like, hey, no, I wouldn't use a bait pen after some of them broads. That's how deep it is. I wouldn't use a bait pen. So I don't think the guy was out there at his money amount looking for prostitutes. You know what I mean? I think it was something deeper. And just to get back into seriousness here, because we are talking about a deceased man, I think honestly and truthfully, it's more to this. I think it'll unfold. And I think you guys are going to be shocked at talking about it for the next couple of days. So that's all I know right now. I'm not going to pretend I know any more than that. But do I believe Bob Lee was stabbed by a homeless man that was deranged at 2:35 in the morning in California? Sure, yeah. Yeah. I do believe that. I do believe that. And I hope they catch this assailant quickly. You know what I mean? But yeah. All right. So guys, leave your comments down below. I'm gonna get off here because this is coming a mess, and I'm gonna be back later, or I'll have some uploads with you and come back tomorrow, one of the two or whatever. And that's it. Now I'm definitely gonna be back tonight because I got one announcement to make. Just some things to talk about me going down to the Trump arraignment yesterday. And I just want to be clear and stick out for a couple of things because some people got upset on some of the things I said. Oh, how you going to talk about people and shit in the studio? This dumb motherfucker. How you going to talk about people? Like, see how I'm behind me right now? I'm in my crib. But if you look at 60% of my lives, they done somewhere. You understand what I'm saying? And I go to places where, and like I said, I'm going to say this for later, but I go to places I feel that your average bloggers don't go to. I talk about the situations there, the histories there, everything like that. And I just feel like, yo, niggas is giving me their ass to kiss. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not being fairly compensated, but a nigga can sit in this bedroom like I'm doing as such and crack jokes and gossip about women and collect thousands of dollars. Niggas could be out here putting on wigs and collect thousands of dollars. You understand? So I think it's not a problem with the vloggers because they're going to do what they do. I think it's a problem with the morality and consciousness of the donators, you know? And that's what I want to talk about. It shouldn't have been no reason why I counted, and I'm just going to say this and I'm going to go into it later. I counted maybe 7 to 8 black and brown faces down there yesterday at that protest, okay? And at one point, I'm going to put the footage up for you guys. I stopped the fight because this big fat white dude came and pushed which I call one of the elders. I mean, he pushed him in front of the cops and everything because he was arguing with this dude that had this whole Trump outfit on. So I'm going to show you guys or whatever. I jumped into it. I wasn't even worried about, like, I know how the law works, like, very good for the most part. So I know my parameters, what I can do and what I can't do. It took me a long time to learn that. And so, and I don't mean on some fake shit, like, I'm going to do stuff just to get a reaction from the cops and then taunt them. I'm not talking about corny shit like that. I'm talking about more so like, you know what? I'm gonna continue this with this because we can just do this. I ain't gotta do a separate live. So he pushes the guy. And this is big burly dude. Now, just a few minutes earlier, when y'all saw my camera, if y'all was with me live yesterday, my camera went dead. And this is at the Trump arraignment down at the courthouse. I was actually there. You know what I mean? For about an hour and a half out of the 2 hours he was there. All right. And so ain't none of your vloggers doing that. Don't tell me that because I looked. Ain't none of your vloggers doing that. Ain't your favorite vloggers is doing that. Shut up. Shut up. Let's stop the stupid shit. None of your vloggers is doing what I'm doing. None of your vloggers go in front of Trump Tower. None of your vloggers go in front of Bad Boy. None of your vloggers go in front of Def Jam. None of your vloggers take you here, take you there, take you here like I do. You understand? And like, I feel like motherfuckers be on my page like laughing at me. Like it shouldn't be no reason why I can't hop on here. I'll be like, yo, crowd, I need y'all to help source me $1,000 real quick. I got some moves I gotta make. I need a little moving around cash. You understand what I'm saying? So I get up in this place. Drinks up in there is $15. But me being in that place or whatever, and as I'm watching my so-called crowd of people log all, pay attention. Every last one of them motherfuckers you see right now, and what's the name? Watch them as they log off when you start talking about your Cashapp. You understand what I'm saying? But what is really in chord right now is this. There were people listening to me. There were people paying attention to me. I want to shout out to Bettina for donating $30 yesterday. I want to shout out to Miss Foster for donating $70 yesterday. And then the average nigga gonna say, well, wasn't that enough? No, nigga, that wasn't enough. You know what I'm saying? Because once again, I put myself in motherfucking danger for the people. You understand? And when you see this video footage, and I filmed this video footage because I got a second phone. That's my old phone. It still records. So I wiped it clean. I got probably like 100, I think it's like 120 gigabytes or something like that. I can use 128 gigabytes of this open, clean phone that I use and I record things on, or I use, for 2 shots or whatever. And so I'm seeing this fat white dude. I can tell you the story real quick. I'm seeing this fat white dude, and he's got one temperament when he's talking to this Jewish man. And the Jewish man is asking him a couple questions or whatever, and he's breaking it down. My back is to them, but I hear them. You're going to see this in the video. The Jewish man asked him something real slick, and he was being very, very racist. He had one temperament then. To the 2 people that just lured off, fuck you, don't come back. What's the name? The guy, he had a temperament when he was talking to the Jewish dude, and he tried to make it look like he was siding with everybody, when he was giving his answer. So he was giving like a little mini interview. My bag was towards him. I'm turning on the phone. I'm plugging up the other phone that I just finished streaming with and putting that in my bag or whatever. And my thing is to move on. So I move over and I see this kid, and he's going back and forth with the banter. You want to hear about the Bob Lee thing? You got to go back to the beginning of this podcast. So I go and move forward and start filming them, which y'all see in the footage. And as I'm filming them, all of a sudden this old black dude comes from the side, and the dude, he's got the whole Trump regalia on, like Trump lapels, Trump shirt, Trump hat, like just Trumped out. You know what I mean? Like he looked like Trump's son. And so the old black dude, and I'll say he's probably like 60. He comes up. Now I'm not saying he couldn't handle himself because he looked like he had did, standing right because stabbed him a couple of, Well, maybe that ain't the right shit to say, right? For popping that couple of, he looked like he did some time before. You know what I'm saying? There's some people just got that look. He looked like he had some hard times. All of a sudden, as he's arguing with the old white man, which wasn't that old, who the same old white man was just arguing with a white kid that was 10 times younger than him. And this fat, burly white man, you didn't go over there and say nothing to him. And I think this fat motherfucker's a vlogger too, because somebody down there said, hey, any here a vlogger? So I'm going to find out who your fat, burly ass is. I'm going in on you. And I'm sending some people over there too for your fat, burly ass. Because you one of them type of white dudes that try to pretend like you ain't fucking racist, but deep in whole, you are racist. You saw that little young white kid that was over there and he was arguing with that grown-ass man, and you ain't go over there and do nothing, intervene or nothing. So as you saw a grown-ass man talk to that other man, and they were having a heated discussion, and the guys are being men, not because it was turning violent or whatever, because you were presumptuous enough, and I want to mind you, there was 6 or 7 cops around us down there, all right? You felt the need to come over and push that old motherfucking, old black man, and then when I popped in your face, and you'll see on camera, that motherfucker had the fear of life in him. He had the fear of life in him, because he was a fat dude, but he was short. And so my first reaction, you know what I mean, is to snuff you, you know what I mean? But I had to think, yo, it's a whole bunch of cops out here, and if I snuff this motherfucker, all these motherfuckers might jump on me, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna win that one. I don't care if you got a Uzi, a grenade launcher, you're not gonna win. It's some shit you want to take an L on. That would have been the damn shame what happened to Davin. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? It just would have been that day. You know what I mean? I could live with that because that would have been my decision. But that wasn't going to happen unless it was necessary. but you will see the fear of life in this motherfucker, because what happened to him was something unprecedented that he didn't expect. When I did that, based off the interaction I had, like I said, you guys got to watch the video because there's also a Latino gentleman in there. I embarrassed his ass on NBC TV. I had the whole crowd. It was like a fucking roasting session. He was trying to say some racist shit to me with this heavy ass accent, and I just destroyed him. Like when I say destroyed this guy, I was like, I started speaking to him in Spanish at first, and then he said some racist shit like that. I'll get back to him too, but there was a couple racists down there. But he said, and I think I've seen this guy before at Trump Tower, because there's a couple of Latinos that try to, especially light-skinned Latinos, I don't know what it is, but they try to fit themselves or pit themselves with white folks. And it's like, well, it's not the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, we know that. You know what I'm saying? But evidently, it's like some kind of chameleon type of thing or whatever. And I noticed that Indian Americans, Middle Eastern people are doing it. Asian people, they do it a lot too. They kind of like, they kind of like brown nose up under white people, and they don't realize the whole time they're brown nosing that white people have figured this out, just shit out. They know what you're doing. And so what I pointed that out, which I'll see in the video is, and I'll go back to the other shit in a minute, but what you'll see in the video is, you'll see that same Latino man. Let me just amp it up so I can just show y'all what happened. Okay, so as y'all saw, there was a whole bunch of people that were protesting, right? And so there was this one particular dude, and he was running around. He had a bullhorn at first, and he was just screaming shit out, whatever. I ain't paying no attention to him. When he came around, I moved away from him. Then there was another dude that had a bullhorn, and he was talking and screaming about Jesus. So what I figured out was, them two motherfuckers was together. You understand what I'm saying? Because later on when I left, he ain't saying nothing to me because I had to walk out a certain exit where there's like the whole fucking police precinct is over there. You know what I mean? Basically. So, you know what I mean? So, and you'll see it in the video. Homeboy comes over to me. He just picks me out of everybody. Like, as y'all can see, there was a whole bunch of white people around me. There was maybe two other minorities. He picked me because I had this jacket on. So he thought to himself, oh, he must be street. He can't be professional. That motherfucker, I had a better life than you. And that's why I embarrassed his ass. So check this out. So he picked me to do that with. He was like, hey, and you should be ashamed to support. I said, motherfucker, I ain't say nothing like that. And everybody around here from the multiple news agencies that are out here, including ABC, CNN, everybody else is recording, ain't heard me say shit like that. The very cops that's sitting in front of you are looking at you like crazy because I've been sitting in front of them for 10 or 15 minutes, but this stupid fat fucker, half of a fucking brain ass fucking fat Latino guy didn't even realize that, hey, those cops have been sitting there for the 10 minutes. Listen, like I'm literally sitting there, and if you guys watch the video, you'll see what I mean. I'm literally sitting there giving a 10 or 15 minute diatribe, and I'm saying, hey, I don't fall on either side of the pendulum. You understand? But this is what comes from a lot, like I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all, because I'm half Latino, so I can tell you, a lot of Latino men are fucking racist, or they try to pretend like they're all that and shit. Like, it just don't add up. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you all that. Where'd you go to college? You know what I'm saying? Okay, you all that. Have you ever made over $150,000 a year? Okay, you all that. Have you ever been on a trip here, or you just go to the Caribbean? You rich. Do you drive a Maybach? Do you drive a Porsche? And I'm not talking about the cheap Porsches under 30,000. I'm talking about the high-end Porsches that's like 150 and above. Because I got friends that do, and all of them are brown. You understand? So you impressing them poor motherfuckers you around, Poppy, but you're not impressing me. You understand what I'm saying? Them niggas ain't used to seeing that little silly ass shit in your little Nissan CRW Jeep and shit. You know what I mean? For fellas, it's like that. The fellas is like that. Entonces sabe la gente, entonces sabe claro, el blanco. There's a very big difference. I keep trying to tell y'all that. Like even in a Caribbean, like I'm around Latinos now that I have never been around before, really. I've been around Mexicans before, but I've never really been around Peruvians. I've never really been around people from Ecuador. I've never really been around a lot of Colombians. I don't like Colombian women. Colombian women are some of the obnoxious bitches in the world. They're all down in Miami. Nobody likes Colombian broads after 6 months in Miami. Nobody. They are some of the most obnoxious Latino women you can ever, except for women from fucking, not even Puerto Rico. Yeah, it's definitely Colombia. Colombian women are some of the most obnoxious bitches when it comes to vanity and looks. Like, trust me, it's fucking nauseating. I've dated one of them before. They're fucking boring as fuck after 6 months. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. But this man, he was betting on his brown skin, which everybody can clearly see. And this is why I got him. I got him in several parts, which y'all see in the video. If you just want to go down below, you can watch it right now. Where I got him at was he was lying, and that was the first thing to everybody. So if y'all see in the video, the cops look at him because they know he's lying. So the second thing was I got him where I said, well, why are you trying to start up? He was trying to get the crowd incited so there was something would happen. And then at the end, he could be like, well, it was that dude right there. And if he wouldn't have turned up, I didn't give him what he wanted. Instead, I gave him a collegiate. And as you'll notice, I gave him a collegiate answer. I said, sir, why are you sitting there rebel rousing? What are you trying to incite? You know what I mean? Because what I wanted to do was I wanted the police to pick this motherfucker up on inciting a riot, which is a fucking federal crime. See you later, bitch boy. That's what I was hoping for. I said, keep talking, motherfucker. I want you to keep talking. I knew what I was doing. So then after that, I bashed the motherfucker again. I said, hold up. He said this, and this is his words. He said, I voted for Obama, and I didn't vote for him because he was black. I said, the fact that you made that statement makes you a fucking racist. The whole fucking crowd, including the cops, were laughing at him. So then he said, this is an uneducated man pretending that he's smart. You understand? These are the most dangerous motherfuckers out there. Unaccomplished, unintelligent, uncredited, college credited, uncollegiate motherfucker. These are the most dangerous people in the world. Even homeless people that don't have no education are not as dangerous as these motherfuckers, because these motherfuckers actually believe that they're smart because they're around dumb people all the time that are easy to impress. But when they get around somebody that actually challenges their intelligence, the way they combat it is they want to argue with you. And that's what I won't do with you. I'll do one or two things. Either I say that on camera, which I didn't go down there yesterday with. It almost did. God damn it. Thank God I didn't. Woo! You know what I mean? But that's one thing. And then the second thing is I will break you down depending on what type of citizen you are. I'll break you down collegiately like I always have. You know what I mean? And it's very simple to do with somebody that's not versed. You know, now this ain't no shots or whatever. This is what this man's intentions were. He was a racist. You know, it is what it is. So I can call him out because you tried it with me and you tried it within front of the fucking criminal courthouse of Manhattan with at least fucking 100 plus motherfucking cops out there. And you being Latino, Papa, you know the setback. So if these white people out here ain't starting and turning up shit, why is your punk bitch ass, you boy, because you're a boy, because you were riding behind the coattails of that white man who dipped out of the fucking scene and left your stupid ass there to get fucking arrested or worse, or jumped or whatever else would have happened to you if that would have happened. Well, where's Bob? Bob left 15 fucking minutes ago, you dumb fucking fuck. You understand? So that's what I had a problem with. This motherfucker was trying to set me up. And I'm like, yo, my nigga, you know what the setback's back. You see people at the fucking border getting beaten, getting mistreated. The fucking places where they have I was one of the only people that went to fucking Manhattan when they had the protest for the people that were staying in the fucking hotel. And later on I found out, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, this is a real cause. You know, I'm thinking it's a real cause, right? These people, they want to stay in the hotel. Maybe the shelter systems are fucked up or whatever. No, these motherfuckers and Mayor Adams, may I mind you, who was black, he went out of his fucking way to make sure that they were fucking comfortable. First of all, y'all were up on the high end in the 50s on 5th fucking Avenue. 6th Avenue. Let's start there. Second of all, you understand what I'm saying? This is the clincher. These men and a few women, but mostly men that wanted to protest and didn't want to leave the hotel after they had been there for a year and a half, some of them. They didn't want to move to make room for other immigrants coming in. I can't make this up. That's why they didn't want to leave. They didn't want to leave, and it was confirmed, they didn't want to leave to make room for other Latinos to come. You see what I'm saying? So it was like, this is what you get when you get these brown nose and ass kissing motherfuckers. I can't stand people like that. So moving on, his third try to get at me was this. He said, oh, what you gonna do? You gonna turn up and beat me up? And this is why I went in on him. I said, well, I'm gonna turn up and beat you up. So I started speaking Spanish to him and it confused him, but then he caught it real quick because I say little things very quickly. They'll recognize you, oh, this is a Cuban speaking Spanish, you know? And so I said something to him. I forgot exactly what I said. I gotta go back and look at the video. And his eyes went like this. Like you could see it on camera. Everybody saw it. And this is where the biggest laugh of everybody was. I said, motherfucker, let me tell you something. And I said it right in front of y'all. Y'all gonna see the cops back right to me. Like it's not the cops who are wild away and exert. The cops back is back towards me because he think I'm gonna hop over and beat the shit out this motherfucker because he know what this motherfucker is saying is fucked up. But now he's fucked up because the people he thought was impressing is now on my side, which you'll hear in the video. And like, yeah, you're so when I really got him was I said, oh, you trying to blend in, huh? You thought I didn't know you was Latino. You trying to blend in, huh? Nigga, you Latino. Get the fuck out of here, that thick ass accent. Ya, con su boca, en tu sabes, ese meso. En Juanpito, papi Juanpito, pero la barrio. No, chavo. Vida con la mujer. Little punk motherfucker. He looked like somebody that was sleeping on, like he had broke up with his girl, but she still let him stay there. That type of motherfucker. Oh, it'd be a whole bunch of them niggas. Let me tell you something about Latino men. It be Latino men that get up early in the morning and you thinking Poppy going to get some money. He got his work vest on, all that. That nigga done spent the whole fucking day drinking beer. That nigga done spent the whole day drinking Modelo. What happened? Oh, I stopped at the bar before I came home. I saw Hector. Lying. When you gonna get paid? Oh, well, he said there's something wrong with the check, so, we're gonna have to wait. I just see all that shit, trust me. You know what I mean? So it's like, he tried a third time to get at him, and I just demolished him. I said, oh, you trying to blend in, huh? You think these people accept you? I said, no, homie, you better wisen up. The rhetoric, the tone, the octave, this is what these people recognize out of my voice. Your octave and your tone and what you're talking about, they don't recognize. This is something condensed into only you and those that are in tune with that. You understand? And so he thought unilaterally his idea basis based on using Trump as a pillar for his argument, or better yet, the word, his racism. You understand? With super hell, and which is really tragic because what you're saying is Trump's base system is racist. That's basically what you're trying. I can go a step further. There's a guy named, and I'll put this on me. There's a guy named Danny Tarrio. You guys ever heard of him? He was just arrested by the FBI a couple months back down in Miami. Danny Tarrio is fucking Cuban. He's a white Cuban, but he's Cuban. This motherfucker was the leader of the Proud Boys. Y'all didn't even know that. Y'all thought it was some old white man, right? There's a whole bunch of these Latinos, Arabs, and a lot of Asians that are trying to pass themselves off as being white Americans. And they're not realizing, for some reason, all the intelligence they claim to have, white people, American Indians, and Black Americans, and I'll say fourth, the Chinese Americans, because they built the railroad system. They literally built the railroads in this country. They've been here the longest of anybody else in this country, except for Mexicans, because California and Texas used to be Mexico, respectfully. So you come over here maybe 20, 30, 40 years ago, and what your real mission is to try to circumnavigate American politics, circumnavigate American tone, and put a precedent. What I'm trying to say to you is there is a new wave of racism that you nearly don't really have to worry about with whites because they're used to you. You understand what I'm saying? Majority, the bulk of whites, I grew up on the shoreline. Ain't nobody out there but Italians and Greeks. Trust me on this. The majority of white folks, especially opulent white folks, we're not talking about poor white trash, who many Latinos seem to line themselves with a lot of times. Because that white man that he was out there with, I'm going to call him Bob, who had the bullhorn talking about Jesus. And y'all heard me in the video, I said, get away from motherfuckers to get on bullhorns and start talking about Jesus. First of all, in the Bible, it says you're not supposed to shout in the church. You're not supposed to shout the word. You're supposed to whisper the word. So I'm sitting there and I'm listening to this motherfucker. Y'all gonna hear it in the video or whatever. Excuse me, y'all, my shoulder itch. And so what I kill him at is this. I said, who you ever hired? Have you ever hired anybody? I've gotten people hired. He had nothing to say. He's stunned now. You understand what I'm saying? What do you do for work? You got a security jacket on. Not knocking the security field, but motherfucker, you ain't never made over $15 in your fucking life. You ain't never made over $15 an hour. I get tired of these motherfuckers at McDonald's. I'm sorry, I ain't dissing nobody at McDonald's. I ain't dissing nobody at Starbucks. I go there all the time. But would y'all motherfuckers stop pretending like y'all make $120,000 a year off of doing that little job where the pay rate range from $15 an hour to $21 an hour. Out here with real niggas that have seen over 100K, real niggas that have seen over $1 million. You understand what I'm saying? At one time or not in their life. Whether you still got it or you lost it, it don't matter. Please stop pretending that that is the go-to job in America. That is a job for a fucking teenager. All right? Teenagers go and flick burgers. Teenagers go and serve coffee. Teenagers go and work at fucking convenience stores and shit like that. The other person that works there are motherfuckers that ain't that motherfucking equipped to do any fucking thing else. Now, that's just reality. Now, if you think that's not a reality, I dare you to go and have an open conversation with a lawyer, an accountant, a doctor, in your current position, working at motherfucking McDonald's, Starbucks, wherever the fuck else you work at. And you'll find very quickly, if you ain't fucking stupid, that you don't fit in line or with the tier of the elk. You understand what I'm saying? So, now for the finishing move. Finish him! So how I finished this motherfucker was, he ultimately started diving back. But where I got him was, and I'll never forget this look on his face. He said, well, what you gonna do? And he opted and looked at the cops as if the cops had his back. And y'all will see in the video, the cops looked the other way. Because he didn't notice the other two cops were black. So when he said that Obama comment, the other two cops, he didn't see them. He was so busy talking. He turned around and he saw the two black cops. He was like, oh shit. I was like, this is fucking perfect. I couldn't ask for more. So I'm sitting there and I say to him, I said, listen, man, I'm not going to fight with you, nothing like that, because I know what you want to see. But I'm going to do you one better. He started trying to talk over me. I said, no, hold on. We'll sort you all out. What I'm going to do is, unlike you, and I said it the wrong way, I have the advantage to talk to representation, meaning we have a lawyer that we have long-standingly talked to. You understand what I'm saying? So I have representation. I've done it before. I'll do it again. That's the difference. When he heard that punk fat motherfucker, y'all gonna see the clip. He walks his fat, waddled. Let me say waddled. I ain't never seen a man waddle. This out of shape, portly motherfucker waddles. like the fucking penguin or some shit in Batman. I said, you fat fucking gordito. You know what I mean? That means fat in Spanish. Y'all don't know. And like porco sucio. Listen, it ain't about race or nothing like that. But what I see is, I'm going to say like this. When the minorities that were down there at that Trump, one of the things I was surprised about, the minorities that were down there at that Trump arraignment, a lot of the minorities, they were like straight ass kissers. You know, like you'll never have nothing in life independently. You'll always share, in my opinion. Yeah, it's at the beginning of the video. You can go back to the beginning of the video if you want to watch that part. We kind of moved past that about 30 minutes ago. But if you like, please go back to the beginning of the video and check that out. I appreciate you being here. We're talking about something else now, though. But yeah. Let me tell you something. For all you brown nosers, ass kissers, ass lickers, let me tell you, no, that's okay, Jody. No problem. Welcome here. Let me tell you something. You don't get far like that. See, I've known a lot of brown nosers and ass kissers throughout my life. And I'm not talking about on some street level or some shit like that. I'm talking about in the music industry. I've known a lot of ass kissers. Not necessarily that worked with us either, for motherfuckers to be talking about, hey, yo, what you say on camera, nigga? No, I'm not talking about fucking you. But I've seen a lot of people that have been in the music industry that kiss ass, and you don't see them no more. You don't see them no more. You don't see them no more. You don't see them after they leave. You don't see any fruits of their labor. There's a few of them here and there that'll make it. You know, they'll put something else out, whatever. But majority of people, see, ass kissing is a fucking it's an art. Oh shit! God damn it! Ass kissing is an art. And you gotta be prepared when you're an ass kisser. I'm sorry, y'all stepped on my ass. God damn. When you're an ass kisser, you gotta be prepared to be an ass kisser all the time. You are now in the category of being an ass kisser. So nobody's ever gonna fully respect you. They might smile with you, grin with you, whatever. But then deep down inside, they're gonna say one or two things. Well, it's just that's a good worker, meaning you's a good worker. That's all you're good for. You know what they get the motherfuckers that after they retire from like the local fast food place, they give them a fucking plaque and a watch. My friend Roland Dunham, I told him that a long time ago. And I'm so glad he went back to school and listened to me. He was working jobs like that. And I said, though, listen, they don't do nothing but break motherfuckers off like a plaque or some shit. So one day we went to Dunkin' Donuts and we see this old lady and she's like 60-something years old. And for her age and that time of that job, I respect that. But they had a plaque on the wall for her, so she ain't never show up late too many times. Shit like that, whatever, right? Check this out. This happened in Norwich, Connecticut. If you need fucking, what's the name? Right downtown on West Main Street. We went back to that Dunkin' Donuts 2 months later, and that motherfucker was closed, right? Shit had been emptied out. You know the thing that remained on the fucking wall? I lie to you not. That woman's fucking picture. That's all that was left in remembrance of her, was her fucking picture. So she had worked there 10, 15, 20 years. That's all that was reminded was her fucking picture. Now, if you want that to be your set in stone or whatever, be my very fucking guest. But what you don't have the right to do, and I hate to say it like this, but it has to be said, and my dad was one of those visitors. So let me start out. You can't be a visitor in somebody else's country and think that you're coming in to take over. You understand what I'm saying? Or I have to live by the rules you dictate as you being a visitor. Because I couldn't go to your country respectfully of origin and make no mistake about it. This is our country. You understand what I'm saying? 300, 400. I guess I'm half Latino, but I got a rep on that because I got a lot of Latinos that come at me a certain type of way. And I'm just not used to that. I don't never have Puerto Rican niggas come at me like that. I never have Dominican niggas come at me like that. I definitely never have Cuban niggas come at me like that. And like the ones that I do know, if I went and told them, trust me, you couldn't handle what's coming. You understand what I'm saying? You couldn't handle. I'm trying to tell you. I'm a very dangerous fucking person to deal with. Trust me on that. My whole entire life, and I ain't talking tough guy talk. This is shit that's on ink and paper. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't got to talk no tough guy shit. I'll show y'all a couple pictures of the people I hang out with. Do they look like little people? Do they look like people you just want to fuck around with? No, I'm small. I'm small. They ain't. You understand what I'm saying? I know people that'll come in, I just say it's him. They'll come in and choke the fuck or whatever the fuck else to you. Just like that for me. So when I have a problem with somebody's blatantly racist with me, and that's not the energy I'm giving, that's not the energy that I'm coming with, that's not even on my mind. And so for that gentleman to do that, it made me very upset. But more importantly, it did something better. I made sure I played that motherfucker like a fiddle because I wanted the police to see how motherfuckers like him try to start problems and then use the police as a shield. And that's the ways of a coward. You understand? Because I saw you after that. And if you wanted to get busy or whatever, we could have walked right up to Christian Street where it's split. You understand what I'm saying? You saw me and I stood there for 20 minutes to smoke a cigarette. So don't act like you ain't seen me. You understand? Because I'm hearing you a blogger too. You saw me. So it was like, you don't waste your time with people like that. But at the same time, you got to watch this energy that people are putting out. And I'm saying to you, I don't know how many times I've been around my white friends, and here's something for exposed to you. I don't know how many times I've been around my white friends, but 9 times out of 10, they probably do it when the roles are reversed too. This goes to show even more of a blanket of this. I can't tell you how many times I've been around white friends of mine, and they feel comfortable talking about the situation happened at the border, or calling somebody out their name, or look at this fucking blah, 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 blah. I don't even want to say that word on here. You understand what I'm saying? Dozens of times. Or the new wave where a lot of white people are pointing at Latinos in New York City with all the violence that's going on. A lot of proportionate of it, especially in Brooklyn, especially in Queens. Yes, you niggas, you know what I'm saying, is being heavily held by Latinos. You understand what I'm saying? Half of the violence that happens on Rikers Island, the reason they want to close the motherfucker down is because half of the real violence come from either the blacks and Latinos beefing or either the Latinos beefing with everybody. They beef with the black dudes and the white dudes. You're not going to win that way. What you're going to have is, you're going to have a prison culture. You understand what I'm saying? Where motherfuckers are older, they had some kids before they went in, they come home, now he's an invested criminal, And now he's teaching his kid criminal shit. And now mommy, who had hopefuls for her son to go to college, now your son is right in the lineage of being a fucking criminal himself. That's where that goes. If you try to fit in with whites, you better fit in with whites ethically. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning that your morals, everything better match up, and you better be a doppelganger of how they grew up. Because if you're not, and you come from the ghetto, I don't care how much of a fucking acting role you put on. When you get in front of certain crowds, outside of the people you're trying to impress, when you get in their crowds, they're going to point you out. Trust me, I've seen it happen a million times. Why is he holding his fork like that? Why does he speak like that? Ooh, he has an accent. Ooh, he speaks abrosely. Oh my God, why does she laugh like that? I've heard it all fucking all right? So don't try to write it off as, I don't know where. It's just a silly, and I have to point to the whites, the unaccomplished whites that are telling these people this shit, because accomplished white people, listen, we worked under the banner Clive Davis. Trust me when I tell you this, because that's who Puff had his distribution deal with. He was 2 floors above us, and there was the records. Your ilk or tier will be challenged when it comes collegiately to you answering something. And I don't mean giving the nice. A lot of people confuse nice and proper with being intelligent. You understand what I'm saying? Nice and proper. I mean, like, hi, how are you doing? Great. That's great to see. I did that shit when I was like 14 years old. By the time you fucking 25, people want to know what your fucking brain sits at and where the fuck kind of positions you have. Not just a go along, get along guy. Okay, let's go jump off the river then. Because that's how a lot of you motherfuckers are articulating yourself. And I know a lot of, I'm going to say it, a lot of, anybody's on the shoreline right now out in Niantic, y'all can vouch for this. A lot of people didn't want to hang around with Latinos out there because they were always into something. You go to Bridgeport, go to Harvard, same thing. You're alienated and ostracized yourself, so who the fuck are you? And that was just a horrible acting role. And I'm glad I got to embarrass that motherfucker. So guys, just go down here. I'll put it in a pinned comment too so you guys can see it. But it's right down below. It's a video before last I put up. Just hit my name, hit videos. You'll see it for yourself. It comes in around about, I think, the 45-minute mark, maybe a little bit before, a little bit after. I'll timestamp it for you too. But yeah, it's a damn shame that you now have a second set of enemies. And those enemies are the ones that are coming in. And they do this in Europe too. Those are the ones. 12-star, hey guys, I'm late. How did he pass? I don't know how he passed either. That's why I said this is like, it's deeper, because you could look at the man and tell he was Latino. It was no ifs, ands, or buts. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I know the difference between when I see a white man, an Italian, a Greek, a Jew, and a white American man. I know it from a ball away. I don't care if you ain't got your yarmulke on. I know when I see you. So, because we're surround so many of them. And so, this guy, I don't know what, the first thing that pissed me off was he came in and he asked me, and I knew he was trying to start some shit with me, because he asked me, he said, oh, do you live here in the tri-state? And I'm like, who the fuck are you asking questions to motherfuckers? Now, there's a third example here too. This motherfucker might have been put out there by the NYPD. Hey! Don't that sound suspicious? Doesn't that sound weird? This motherfucker might have been put out there by the cops to agitate shit like that. That's a popular. But either way, motherfucker, you got demolished. And you got demolished on NBC TV by me. That shit's fucking historic. So, shout out to that racist gentleman. Entonces, salud la gente blanco. That's the problem with that motherfucker that got elected in New York. He thought he was a white boy too. That motherfucker told him, what was it? So he said, you're a fucking disgrace. And they caught it from a lip reader. Y'all see that clip? I was like, this motherfucker's from Queens. He did all kinds of lies. Just lied his way through. And that's another thing that white Americans don't like. Nobody likes really a liar. And a lot of these guys, the same thing with Nori Martinez out there in California and all the racist shit she said about that little boy and his gay couple family. It was like, it was a little black boy that they adopted, and it was a white couple family. They wasn't molesting the boy or nothing like that. And she was like, what they gonna do with that little black boy? How they gonna raise him like, well, you try to raise your kids like white kids and you not white. And last time I checked, African Americans been here for what, 600 years? You've been here maybe the course of maybe 30. How was he supposed to act? You know what I'm saying? So, maybe some of the arguments are cultural. I don't know. But I don't like it. I I had an experience I can tell you guys real quick on my own. I was at one of our little local restaurants. I can make this quick. And actually, if Miss Forster is here, she'll verify this because she was on the phone with me. So I'm outside, I'm getting something to eat, wrapping it up, and I'm on the phone with her, and we're just talking. And so I'm eating. I go out the back door because I plan on using the bathroom. It's a little boy in front of me. So I walk past a little boy. Listen, I got nephews, nieces, or I don't fuck with kids. It's not my thing. You know what I mean? This motherfucker was profusely staring at me. And I don't know if that was a niece, nephew, whatever. But mind you, what pissed me off was there was 5 Latino kids that came behind me to use the same door. And he didn't even look at them. He kept looking at me. And so I was like, yo. So the motherfuckers, I'm walking out the door, he starts walking closer, but he's looking me in my face. And I'm like, I'm feeling weird. So I peeled this motherfucker. I'm like, yo, I pushed him as hard as shit. Like if you heard it, and if you heard it, I pushed that motherfucker into the door. He was surprised because he didn't think I was that strong. He thought nothing was gonna happen. Like a lot of them, they think that because I'm pretty and shit like that. But it was like, yo, all right, cool. You know what I mean? So I pushed his ass into the door. That nigga's whole back, pow. You know what I mean? He hit the whole fucking door. Now he know shit real. Now, you, instead of just let me walk out the door, you about to get your ass whooped in front of these kids. Which I'll oblige you. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. Neck calm me down. I said, all right, homeboys that was behind me, they said, yo, homie, don't do nothing to him. Don't do him dirty. It's a camera right there. That's what they said. So I walk outside. I said, let me calm myself down, light a cigarette. This motherfucker takes his own time to get in the car. This is what I mean by pussy shit. He takes his own time to get in the car. And he runs over and tells his girlfriend. This bitch pulls up in front of me talking about, I go to police. I said, bitch, you can call whoever the fuck you want to, and I'll call INS and have your ass deported, bitch, fucking with me. I can tell you this got over here one spring ago. You don't even speak English. Your man don't speak English. And 9 times out of 10, you from the Bronx somewhere, lived in fucking following, like, we got a lot of people out here that have lived in filth, and I ain't shitting on New York or nothing like that. But we got a lot of people that have lived around filth, rats, and all kinds of shit. And they move out here, and now they want to pretend like life starts over. No, you still that motherfucker for them rats and shit. You know what I'm saying? No, you still the same motherfucker for them rats, them roaches, or that's you. And no matter what you do, it's not going to change. This is who you are, you know? And their behavior exemplifies that. So they got one set of behavior where they sit around brown nose and kiss ass white peoples. Then they got another set of behavior that they amplify and exemplify to other Latinos. Then they got another set of behaviors that they deal with when they're dealing with whites, depending on if the whites are friends, depending on the whites. It's like it's a weird shit. It's like consistent acting roles. You know what I mean? Like, I can't do that. And I'm not saying this from a space of somebody that's unaccomplished. I'm saying this from the space of somebody that worked in the music industry for 17 years around multi-motherfucking millionaires, including 2 of them that are multi-billionaires now. That's my work history. You know, so it's like, when I see people, and I know a lot of other guys that I worked with that got the same history. You get what I'm saying? So it ain't just one of us, 2 of us, 3 of us. It's hundreds, if not thousands of us. And the music alone, the style, this is the other thing that kills me. You'll have a lot of light-skinned Latino dudes that sit around and act like they don't like black dudes, but you want to dress like black dudes. You want to create your music to sound like black people's music. I heard a motherfucker the other day from the Dominican Republic that sound just like Future. You're literally copying black people's music and it's adding Spanish, switching language. The auto-tone is the same. The beats are the same. Everything's the same. It's actually an insult because you don't even invite anybody like Future or anybody like that to do a song that you're stealing from. Bad Bunny's whole fucking catalog is stolen. He didn't work with everybody. I dare a motherfucker to say I'm saying something wrong. Bad Bunny's whole goddamn catalog is fucking repurposed songs mostly. He got maybe 6 or 7 new songs on his new album that he contributed to. Look at the credits if you don't believe me. Look at the credits. Same thing with J Balvin and a couple of other ones. Y'all think they writing these hits. These niggas ain't writing hits. They repurposing songs that ain't been used. That's why they sound like they American, because they just added Latin lyrics to it or Spanish lyrics. These are songs intended and written for black artists. If you don't get it, don't believe me, ask Bad Bunny. Ask Cardi B, she know. They'll keep it real. They Dominican. But one thing I don't like I don't like no fake ass Latinos. I'm sorry. I just don't. I can't live with that shit. I see right through you. You know what I'm saying? I see what you after, and it don't match up with me. So that's it. Guys, I'm gonna put up that footage later on. I'm gonna let y'all see. Salud la gente, la cubano, tú sabes, pero Miami, and my family or them. I love y'all, but I had to say this shit because it had to be said. Other than that, I will talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Make sure you have the Cashapp $STRINGERBELL80. Talk to you guys later.